Today I wanted to take you guys on a little driving tour from Eagle Ridge all the way to Almaden, and we're going to go the back way. This is a way that a lot of locals in Gilroy actually use. So if you go 152 to Watsonville Road, you'll drive by a couple really nice wineries, and then you take Uvas, and Uvas turns into McKean, and then you take that to Harry Road, which becomes Almaden Expressway. And this is a great alternative to going the freeway. And a lot of people use this in the commute times in the morning or even coming back from San Jose in the evening because there's no stoplights and there's hardly any stop signs. So come with me and enjoy the ride. We're just coming up on 1st Street, 152 Hecker Pass Road. There's kind of three names for the road. It's 152 that goes all the way kind of through, but it's also Hecker Pass 152 that goes over to Watsonville, and then 1st Street to the right. And actually on this corner here, there's Westside Grill, which is a great restaurant. There's a Coldwell Banker office that I work out of sometimes. There's a Starbucks, and there's a great little burger place as well. That's actually owned by the same people that own Westside Grill. And if you see those kind of mountains straight ahead of us, mountains, kind of a loose term, they're not too big. But this road goes up over those and drops you right into Watsonville. So you can get over to the beach or water pretty quickly from here. It's usually about 20 to 30 minutes. This is Gilroy Golf Course just to the right here. It's a little 9-hole course, but pretty nice, not bad. Kind of fun afternoon golf course. Have a couple beers with the buddies. Or if you're a beginner, it's a great course. Up to the left here is Gilroy Gardens. It's a fun little theme park that they have here. They do some really fun stuff during the holidays with all the Christmas lights, and it's really a good time. They have some adult beverages and fun games for the kids, some rides for all ages. So it's really a good time. We're going to start seeing some wineries here. We have Sarah's Vineyard to the right here. Sarah's is a great little vineyard. They have great Pinots. Solis Winery to the left here. That's always good. I'm sorry, Sarah's Vineyard is right here. I was a little early on that one. But yeah, no, Sarah's Vineyard has some great wine tasting. They have music on the weekends. There's a beautiful view from their patio. We're going to make a right onto Watsonville Road. It's also the Morgan Hill Gilroy wine trail. So there is a lot of wineries off of here. Martin Ranch is up to the left, just up here. They're very popular. Kirigin, we're going to pass. Cordoval Winery, formerly Clos La Chance, is up off of Watsonville Road as well. More in the Morgan Hill, San Martin area. It's not quite Napa wines, but they make decent Pinots and some other varietals. But yeah, not bad. It's always fun on a Saturday afternoon to come have a couple glasses of wine, enjoy some good company, maybe bring a little bit of a picnic with you. We're just coming up on Day Road here, and this is where Kirigin Winery is. And you can also take Day Road from Watsonville, and that will go right by Christopher High School. So that's another way from Santa Teresa and Day Road you can come in. But yeah, Kirigin's up to the right. They do a lot of weddings and events there. They have a car show once a year. It's a great little winery as well. Dorsich is on the left here. They actually just sold recently. So I'm curious to see how that plays out and what goes in there. But that's always been a good little spot as well. We're going to make a left here on Uvas Road. If you go straight here, this will take you into Morgan Hill. And we're going to go left. Right by Mohai Ranch is on the left here, another great winery. They have a frozen rosé that is actually amazing, especially on a summer day. I mean, it's 94 degrees out right now. That actually sounds perfect right this second. But yeah, we just passed Mohai. This is actually a very popular biking destination, this road. They used to do or they still do, I think it's called the Tour de California. It's a big bike race throughout all of California, and they always come through this stretch here. So it will close down usually one day a year for that. But other times, lots of bike riders like to ride it. So you got to be a little careful for them, because there's not a dedicated bike lane. But, you know, it's I don't blame them. It would be a really good ride, and it's definitely beautiful. Here's a bike rider up here. And then just to our right here, you're starting to get to Uvas Dam. And it's a beautiful waterway. More than a waterway. Beautiful body of water. How about that? It's definitely fuller right now than it normally is. We've had a lot of rain this year. But people come out here and fish, and you don't really see people going in the water. I don't think I would recommend that. I've seen a couple people take their dogs and let their dogs go in it, but that's probably about as far as I would go. I don't think that it's really a swimming lake. And the speed limit on most of this is 45. It goes down to 40 at one spot. But I'd say the pace of traffic when there are other cars is usually in that 45 to 55 mile per hour range. Obviously, you get some people that go a little quicker and some that go a little slower, just because it is a two-lane road. But usually a decent pace here, and you don't have traffic that's stopping. And that's the best part, is if you're coming from Gilroy and you got to get to San Jose, and there's nothing worse than sitting in stop and go traffic in the morning at 8:30 in the morning. So this is a great alternative. You get a beautiful drive, and you don't have to lay on your brake and stop and go and stop and go. You can kind of just flow and listen to your music or book on tape or whatever you enjoy in the morning, sip your coffee, and get to work. I might be a little partial to the area though on this drive, because I grew up in Almaden, and actually my first job ever was at Cinnabar Hills, and so I get to drive by Cinnabar Hills if I go this way. So a little partial to this area and this drive because I like passing it and brings back good memories. Driving into work at 5 a.m. on a Saturday or Sunday for those early morning tea times. That was always a little rough, especially if you went out the night before, which in high school and college, there was a lot of nights going out before a Saturday morning. But don't tell my boss. I guess at this point, it doesn't matter if you tell my bosses. That was 20 years ago. You can see how nice and wide this part is. So they've actually been doing work on this road for probably the last 5 or 6 years, widening it in certain parts, getting rid of any holes or getting rid of kind of any of the imperfections that have happened over time on this from settling. So it is a much better road than it was even 5 years ago. One thing to definitely be careful for is animals. Certain times of year, you will get deer and you'll get pigs, wild boars, sort of thing, that just run across the road. So you do have to be careful that no animals jump out in front of you. My brother actually, unfortunately, hit a deer on this road one time. Not to scare anyone off from driving this, but you know, you have to kind of keep your wits about you and eyes kind of scanning around, making sure that nothing jumps out. I'd be curious to know, what's the longest that you've ever commuted for a job? My longest commute was actually going from, I was living in Gilroy and commuting to Fremont every day when I was working at Tesla as a video producer. It took me, well, I could kind of pick my hours. So I would take my morning meeting at home and then go in, and I would usually work until 6:30 or 7. So that way I would not have all the traffic. In the morning, I usually hit more traffic in the evenings coming home than the mornings. But that would take me about an hour and 15 minutes because of traffic. If there was no traffic, it was usually about 45 minutes to an hour. So what's the farthest you guys have ever commuted for a job? I'd be curious to know. Drop that in the comments. I mean, I know there's some people who won't drive more than 10 minutes to work. Gosh, that would be nice. I've always had a commute, so it's just one of those things. I was able to buy my house in 2020 in Gilroy. Finances were right for me at the time, and that's the only place I could afford and the sort of home I was looking for. So that's what I purchased and where I purchased, and don't regret that for a second. Even though I have a little bit more of a drive to places, I absolutely love it. I've gotten to know the community really well. Still love Almaden, and we'll probably move out towards Almaden, Willow Glen at some point in the next few years, because that's really where my home base was growing up most of my life. So, we'll be back there, but I spend most of my time kind of between Gilroy, Morgan Hill, Blossom Valley, Almaden, Willow Glen, Los Gatos, Campbell. Those are kind of the areas that I'm in the most. And usually all within about 45 minutes. Although tomorrow, I'm actually going to be up in Alameda. I'm helping a client buy a house up there. So I do work all over the Bay Area. So if you're even looking San Francisco, Oakland, Alameda, anywhere, I can really help you. I have knowledge about everywhere in the Bay Area. This is right where Uvas becomes a McKean. So we're now getting kind of more into the San Jose area. Just up here on the right's where the entrance to Cinnabar is. And Calero County Park is over to the left here. I see a lot of people riding horses back in there. I've actually not been over there, so don't know too much about it other than I've seen a lot of people on horses. If you keep going, and we'll pass it as the entrance to Calero Lake, where you'll see a lot of people on boats, on kayaks, stand-up paddle boarding, doing some water skiing, things like that. And then right here is Bailey Avenue, which actually goes over to 101. So that's a good little cut through as well. There's actually been times I've been on 101 and it's been packed bumper to bumper, and I've cut over on Bailey and then taken Bailey to McKean and taken the back way up that way. So it's a little bit of a cut through you can use. And it goes passes Monterey Highway as well, and Santa Teresa. Here's Calero Lake to our left. A few boats out there today. This Calero County Park up to the left here is actually new, that entrance. And a lot of people will go hiking and biking up those paths and up into those foothills there. I hear good things. I haven't done that hike yet. My buddy likes to go mountain biking back there and has a great time. So I hear good things. I appreciate you all sticking with me through this little bit of a longer driving video, and I know some of it's maybe a little boring, but it's definitely worth the views you get from this video as well. And if you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe and like the video. If there's anywhere you want me to drive around and talk about in future videos, you can also leave those in the comments, and I'll try and make a little bit of a video or show what a commute's like, or even just highlight an area for you. But yeah, we're getting here. This is Harry Road, and Almaden Expressway is just going to be left here. So we're at the end of Almaden, and then you can take this all the way to 85 or even up to 87, or you can even take Almaden all the way up into San Jose itself. When I lived in Almaden, I actually commuted to San Jose State, and instead of dealing with all the freeways, half the time I would just take Almaden Expressway all the way up through to downtown San Jose and cut over and get over onto 4th Street down there. That was where the parking garage is that I parked on. So, you know, lots of different ways to go from Almaden. And again, Almaden is a great area as well. And if you're commuting, it's an easy place to commute from. But yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next video. Talk to you guys soon.